So if you watch Sun Yingsha's matches, you'll notice many of her pushes are done like this. The reason is, when she adds all kinds of spin with her hand, she can still make sure the ball doesn't go long, because once she adds power, it's easy to make mistakes. But when she applies force sideways, the shot becomes more stable and she can generate strong spin with great control. We must keep the racket angle upright. It's a side spin topspin serve. If I push it normally, it will definitely pop up high. Here's a special trick I'll teach you. How can we make the racket face truly upright? Because sometimes, you think it's upright, but it still goes high. Actually, you didn't make it upright enough. What should you do? Use the bottom part of the racket. Face it toward the table. If you face it this way, you're pointing toward your opponent. For example, if I say keep it upright, everyone's standard is different. Some may think this is already upright. Others think this is enough. That's what I just did. So the ball still went high, right? It should be like this. Because it's topspin. A normal upright angle won't reach it properly. The lower part of the racket faces toward the table surface. Cut the ball at that angle. Of course, the best way is still to flick. But if you can't flick, or your flick isn't good, you can face the racket forward. When the ball rises, don't hit straight forward. Apply force sideways. Like this. Brush the ball to your opponent's side. Yes, brush along a straight line toward your opponent. The first bounce will be here, then the second bounce will curve left. It moves that way, so we follow the spin's direction. We send the ball back along its path. That way, it neutralizes the spin. But if you cut against it, you'll need a lot of delicate control. You must first cancel the spin before placing it back on the table. So we go along with the spin's direction, using a side spin cut. To return it, then the ball won't go straight, it'll float more. See the edge I just cut to? The first bounce was here, and the second bounced wide. Try it first with pinhole. For this kind of ball, the best way is still to flick. But if you can't flick, keep your racket upright. Brush sideways. Very spinny. What's the key point? Players must keep the racket upright. Apply force sideways. After pushing, recover quickly. Don't assume this ball can outright kill your opponent. It's only to avoid being attacked. That gives you a chance. Push diagonally forward. That helps absorb the spin's power. Now for this ball. If you can flick it, that's the best option. If you can't, use this side spin cutting technique. Actually, the angle isn't upright enough, because for normal side spin or weak spin serves, this angle works. But once it's side spin topspin, using this angle will only make it fly off the table. So just like yesterday, the forearm goes forward. And apply force sideways. Apply force from the side front direction, from here to here. Brush the ball in this way. Don't slice straight down. If I slice directly, it's easy to make mistakes when the hand is too tight or tense. Find a way to get out of that difficult situation. So when I apply force to the side, actually, while I'm increasing power, I don't let the ball have too much forward thrust. And I can still neutralize the spin. It's not easy to go off the end. Most mistakes with this type of ball come from going long. If you can absorb the force and still create spin, that's ideal. It went into the net as soon as I touched the ball. This technique is relatively easy to execute. If I teach you this, it's something you can't learn quickly. Or if you try a backhand banana flick, it takes a lot of practice and effort. But this technique works with your existing motion. It's something you can control and actually use in matches. You can integrate it into your rally quickly. Otherwise, some techniques look great but are too hard to use in real matches. Many players hesitate, wondering, should I really close the racket? Will it go into the net if I close it like this? First, it's a side spin topspin serve. The main mistake is going long, so you should confidently close the racket. But make sure you've correctly judged that it's side spin topspin. Same motion again. If it's side spin backspin, it'll definitely go into the net. So let's think about this. Can I make the racket face a bit flatter and use the same method to serve a side spin backspin? It works just as well. It's long, spinny and low, but if you push like this, it easily goes off the table. If you don't use enough force, you can't produce quality. If you use too much, it flies long. If you only push forward, you'll see, when you add power, the ball jumps long after one bounce, so you must apply force to the side front. Add some forward component. Then the ball will be both spinny and solid. So if you watch Sun Yingsha's matches, you'll notice many of her pushes are done like this. The reason is, when she adds all kinds of spin with her hand, she can still make sure the ball doesn't go long, because once she adds power, it's easy to make mistakes. But when she applies force sideways, the shot becomes more stable and she can generate strong spin with great control.